Welcome back to Desk Careers, everybody. I'm so excited to bring another amazing guest to our Desk Careers Spotlight series. Today we meet with Yasir Khan, who is a marketing executive here in the United Arab Emirates. Welcome, Yasir. Welcome to our Spotlight.
Hi, Maria. Thank you for having me here.
It's so great to have you here. I know that I have a lot of questions. We're going to try to keep it short and sweet. We are going to be talking about your career, your story, and how you became a marketing executive. In doing this, I really want our students to understand that the goal, the aspiring role that they attain to have a marketing executive is something that is almost a journey, and it's evolving every day. So let's start right at the beginning. Can you remember being a young teenager and somebody asking you, Yasir, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh, yes, definitely. And my answer was that I want to become an architect. However, everything sort of changed for me when I reached my higher grades. Of course, when I came into grade 12, I was more interested in marketing as a concept. It was just very interesting to me. So when I went to malls, when I went to supermarkets, and I saw attractive products. I saw these, they used to have banners and things like that, basically anything to attract customers. I was sort of interested in that, but not in a weird way. I was only, that genuine interest only developed when I started studying marketing in my high school. So one of my subjects was actually marketing. And when I learned about the concepts that are involved in marketing, I sort of became genuinely interested because I was able to see these concepts in the practical world. And that's basically what made it interesting for me. And that's what made me pursue marketing as a career as well. Because over the years, I kept on building more and more interest in the field.
One of the career journey highlights that you mentioned was being able to establish a new way of communication on social media platforms. What does that mean? Tell us about the story behind that highlight.
Personalization, because I really think that being a little more, having that personal touch really does wonders. Instead of so basically, if anyone asks you a question, any customer or any prospective or any basically anyone who might buy your service or the product that you're trying to sell, anyone, if they ask you a question, you can straight up be a machine and copy paste something. It's not gonna be the same. It's not going to be the same at all. Having that personal touch really did wonders because engaging with people really helps as well. I sort of started doing that on social media. That is sort of an approach that I took.
Take us through a day, a typical day as a marketing executive. What should young people be expecting should they go into a role like yours?
Oh, yes. So that's a very good question. The day starts with meetings, of course, what's going to be done in the day, which portion of that day is going to be related to innovation, and what portion of that day is going to be related to day-to-day activities. So as a marketing executive, of course, I have tons and tons of day-to-day activities that go on. I'm going to give you a few examples: checking my emails, checking my work WhatsApp number, responding to these. So every single email is like a different story, and every single email is, different companies, different people, different stories. So those are all my day-to-day, and then there is a part of the day which goes into innovation. So new tactics, coming up with ideas, how we can become better, how we can do things better. and a lot more. So apart from innovation and day-to-day activities, of course, there are a lot of reports. You have to make reports. You have to check reports. So yes, reporting, day-to-day, and innovation, that covers a large part of my day.
Great. What do you know now on the job that nobody told you when you were a student?
When I was a student, I wasn't really aware of everything that being a marketing executive or being in the marketing profession entails. So it's not just ideas, and it's not just, coming up with new ways of reaching people. It's not just that. It's, of course, a lot more. There's a lot of paperwork involved. There's a lot of, there's, as I mentioned, day-to-day activities. There are a lot of those there. A lot of times you feel like you might be repeating the same information because, of course, whatever product or service you're trying to inform people about, you have to make sure that that information is consistent. So you might feel like you're repeating the same thing again and again. But the thing about marketers is that we are actually never bored of the same information, of sharing that same thing over and over again, because of course we truly believe in it, and of course we also just enjoy speaking to people.
Bringing it all together, I could just keep asking you lots and lots of questions. Young people thinking about their future careers, as you said, you didn't really know, they don't really know what to expect. What would you say are your top 3 tips for them to prepare themselves for work? Things they're not going to learn in the classroom.
That is a very good question. I honestly I wasn't sure if I was going to go into marketing. I was confused between 2 to 3 options. I just asked myself a couple of questions. So I asked myself, do I genuinely see myself being happy here, doing this particular thing? I'm going to give you an example. So one of my weaknesses in school was mathematics. And I had an option of going into a profession which had quite a lot of mathematics. I chose not to go for that because as much as I wanted to do that, I knew that I probably couldn't be genuinely happy doing that. And then, of course, I asked myself, do I see myself doing this in the next, at least for the next 5 years? Because, of course, I was told by a few of my close friends that I can, every human being, we always have a choice of, sort of switching professions, whether that's in the same field or another field, but you still need to be consistent in whatever it is that you're doing. So I basically just asked myself if I see myself being happy here for the next 5 years in whatever it is that I'm doing. And since as I mentioned, since I was already interested in marketing and genuinely interested in marketing, I sort of just went for it,
So I'm hearing you say, spend some time really reflecting on what you think you would be enjoying to do, really reflect on if you can see yourself doing that, and then put in that time commitment and really enjoy doing it.
Absolutely. Be more self-aware of, be more aware of what your strengths are, have a look at what your weaknesses are, and just try and steer clear of whatever it is that doesn't make you happy.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Yasir. And that brings us right to the end of another amazing Desk Career Spotlight interview. Today we met with Yasir Khan, who is a marketing executive here in the United Arab Emirates. I look forward to seeing you at our next Desk Career Spotlight. Thank you for watching.